Hi. Okay, so my first video I left off where I was talking about how my Aunt Linda's gender and age, as well as physical health, had really played a role. Those biopsychosocial factors that really played a role in her with the early retirement. Um, Also wanted to talk a little bit about those things that outside of that really the factors that were like really oppressive to her. I would say are three. I would say first would be her father, her relationship with her father and the way that he was. The second would be her first marriage, her first husband, and the third would be the supervisor. Again, looking at that whole emotional regulation and personality based off of early childhood and the way she was raised. I think the whole idea of that her father instilled in her, and this is a woman, this is what you need to do. You need to garden, you need to do dishes, you need to clean the house, you need to cook us dinner, but at the same time a suck it up attitude. We don't have time for crying. Yeah, we have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. We have to milk the cows. And yeah, you're going to come home after school and you're going to do this because that's what we need to do. No time for crying. So she got a lot of mixed messages. Be a girl, but don't be a girl. And then from her first husband, kind of the same thing. A lot of abuse there, which I know I didn't talk about a whole lot in depth, but a lot of abuse there that, again, she really had to deal with and figure out how she was going to um, handle her emotions and process all that. And of course, her supervisor, again, just the way that she was treated. And I think all of those things were really oppressive to her and things that she had to work through and probably still is working through now, as she continues to develop and process her life. Um, As far as additional theories, Levinson talks about middle adulthood and kind of what he sees as some things, identifying factors in a middle adulthood. And there were two things that he said that I think kind of mesh specifically with my aunt's situation. And two of those things were, at this stage, this person is really looking back at their life choices and determining whether, should I have made that choice? Should I not? If I'd done something differently, how would that impact me? And I certainly think my Aunt Linda is there, obviously. And then the other thing is, contemplating changes to improve happiness. So, and my aunt has done that. She's done that her whole life, but particularly like in the work example, she wanted to be in that job and she liked the job, but she was no longer happy there. She was miserable. And so she had to decide, am I willing to retire early and have a little bit of a negative financial impact, but then I'm happier, or should I stick it out for a couple years and just be miserable? And, she chose to leave. But I do think that that was definitely something in that middle adulthood stage that she had to process. Two limitations I see with the theory, and of course our book, our Rogers book for the classroom talks about, or for the class rather, talks about this a little bit too, is he talks about person, and I think particularly females, are less likely to have mentors. And I don't see that in my aunt's life at all. She had a lot of mentors. She had a mentor at work. She's talked to me about mentors in other areas of her life that I couldn't include in here. But she's had a lot of mentors and people that she looks at that have helped steer her and helped elevate her to where she wanted to be. So I definitely think there's kind of a limitation there. And then the other one would be, Levison says that women focus, he talks about this whole idea of dreams, and men's dreams is that professional success, and women's dreams are more focused on other people and their success rather than their own. And where I see that my aunt certainly looks at other people's successes, particularly with my cousin, with her son, she really is focused on her own success and her own happiness and really thinking about herself. She left a horrible marriage. She left a job she wasn't happy with. She's traveled. She's done things that have made her happy. And so I really think that kind of defies what Levinson is saying as far as women and what their roles are here in this stage. Really, that's all I had to present. I don't want to go over the 20 minutes. I did really enjoy this exercise, this assignment. It was great to get to know my aunt in a way that I hadn't known her before. And it was really, really interesting. And I use that word a lot with this to compare because I'm getting ready to turn 42. So I'm in that middle adulthood and I'm a single mom. And, I've raised my daughter this whole time on my own. And so, I'm going back to school and I'm doing things to make myself happier. So as she was talking, I kept thinking, that's similar to me. Or, oh, that's not, similar to me. And it was really neat to compare the two stages, hers, which of course was several years ago. So that was also interesting as well to mine. But I really got a lot out of this assignment. And, I look forward to learning more about the stages and to continue learning more about my aunt. And I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.